This is John Edmonds from the UK government's SAGE, the organisation and the advisory group responsible for all the lockdown policies since 2020. And after Neil Ferguson, Professor Lockdown, who imposed lockdown on us, and his modelling is always incorrect historically, and then he actually broke the rules himself to hang out with his mistress. Yep, this guy has also changed his tune. It's interesting how things are changing now, right? A lot of people who are pushing for these things, a lot of them were hypocrites that broke the rules themselves, are now expressing regrets. Piers Morgan is one of them, who's now coming out to say, yeah, lockdown was tough, wasn't it? Even though he was forcing everybody, pushing everybody to do the same thing. Now, John Edmonds come out to say that the lockdown model was only supposed to be one of the components of the decision making for the cabinet. And I wondered, and I worried that we as SAGE had too much weight. Their model. We knew that. They knew that. Politicians knew that. Yet, and many governments and countries around the world didn't really follow it. They decided to just go with the extreme scenarios of those lockdown modeling. They did not consider the impact on society, economically, and health, mental health, and just future impact, and just generally speaking, the pointlessness of it. At the beginning of it, I understand the panic when something's new. Everybody was more understanding with that. But the more you found out about the rate of transmission and the fatality and this overall impact, the pros and cons list, then you kind of question it. Where that they're coming out now to say rather than about a year and a half ago. He says, there is of course an enormous economic impact from many of the interventions and other indirect impacts on psychological health and so on. Now these, in principle, could be included, but in practice, they were not. Why? What's changing? Is this like they're all trying to jump ships and all the rats are leaving the ship basically? And they try to be like, well, it's not my fault. I was one of the advisors. And so but governments and politicians are going to blame it on the advisors. Junior advisors are going to blame it on senior advisors. Senior advisors are going to blame it on the media and prime ministers and presidents, saying that, well, we just gave them advice. They went crazy. The media are going to blame ordinary people, saying that, no, you're just stupid, we had to tell you what to do. The police are going to blame decision makers, saying that, well, we were just following the rules, following orders. And this is why tomorrow we're going to have a big video, a big update on research that's coming out about the latest plot from the World Health Organization. Just stay tuned for that video because it's going to be slightly frustrating, but we have to do it. We have to give warning to the people around the world about what's coming from inside the World Health Organization tent and inside the brain of this guy who wrote this book saying how to prevent the next pandemic. But in reality, when you read it, it's simply saying, well, basically, we should do next time the same things, but extra. Instead of learning from the mistakes, no. I'm a control freak, and I'm going to make money from it, and I'm going to make myself feel better, and I'm going to be famous, and I'm going to be one of the most successful and famous lobbyists for governments around the world. I don't care. I'm going to write my book and make money. Disgusting. So subscribe to the channel. We're going to come back with a couple of more updates later tonight, but also tomorrow. World Health Organization. Subscribe to the channel. I'm Tousi, and we are the media.